Hello, levelengine here for not a new hack. I am still waiting for the 9th VLDC to land, which I'm starting to think was a really bad idea, knowing Super Mario Central history of not being able to get collab projects done by certain deadlines. And then I figured, hey, I left this hack unfinished. I only saw like a few different scenarios of the game during that C3 Let's Play spree, and then I just put it down and didn't pick it back up again. This is Underway's The, also known as Coronation Day. Yes, apostrophe The. I'm still in shock that we got that short a title. Oh, and not to mention, Torchkas and Medic also helped. I'm assuming Underway just built the levels, if you could call them that. Made the hack look the way it was. Torchkas probably made all the music. High five there. And Medic probably did some work with the ASM. I mean, Medic's been just sliding under the radar until recently. He also contributed to Ruberjig's One Blast, and, well, he worked with Leo to make those Ninja and Batmorphs, which I just jumped on as soon as I figured out I could use them. So if you actually saw my C3 Let's Play spree, you will have seen this part before. This is the very first thing you can encounter in apostrophe The. This is the same scenario where you could find the massive glitches and then the Glitchy Peach chasing after you if she touches you. And yes, these messages are actually randomized. I don't know if it's based on time or what. I don't recall seeing that message in my first playthrough that I recorded of this. It was probably something else entirely, that message. So yes, all these are randomized. I don't know if there is any point trying to actually find them all. They made it all from scratch. And all of these messages are very vague and cryptic, leaving you wondering what the hell they mean. I mean, I want to know more about this. There's probably some really dark undertones with some of the messages. What did they make from scratch, and who is the they? Bring me back up. They're asking to be brought back up. They're not asking for backup. Those are two different things. Okay, this is where you actually encounter a fork in the road. I was not aware of this until I just put this down and started playing another hack. When you get to the screen where the text, I believe in the god of this forest, are you looking for me, so on and so forth, and then you come out the right side, and then everything starts to turn to glitches, the Peach will chase you, and then there are two things that could happen. You can make it to the end of this level without getting touched by anything, or you could get killed by either the Peach or one of the smaller Peach heads. And volume warning. I wonder how many people are gonna get startled by this very first time. And oh, you can't run. And you can't spin jump. Yeah. Oh! That was not supposed to happen. Well, I guess I'll just go over the scenario where you fail to get past the Peach. So the area looks very similar, except it's now slippery, and you hear what sounds like the barks of a dog. I believe I've done this already. Hey Mario. Yeah, everything is frozen over now for some reason, because the Peach killed you. I don't know what that has to do with anything. And if you stand here in front of what is if you stand Mario and face him in such a way that he is like perfectly aligned with that shadow, the heart will pop up. I'm the heart. But what does that exactly mean? I know this unlocks something, but I'm going to show you that later. In fact, I want to go through a scenario where you actually do successfully get away from the Glitchy Peach. And the rest of this you probably saw. You end up in the Treehouse of Horror and then underwater. Or something like it. You'll see a ghost of yourself. And then we try again. Which just loops back to the very first scenario of the game. Excuse me while I get back to try getting away from the Glitchy Peach again. I hope I can get away from them this time, because I want to show you the rest of this. I'm always nervous when I get to this part of the game, no matter what. Because the music is so damn loud. Everything's just all messed up. This part of the game isn't even that hard to get past. And then I screwed up again. Now excuse me while I go around the circle once again to try and get back to there. Turn the music down, and now I'm just gonna try and be patient. Patience is key. Yes. God damn it! Oh, please come on this time. I want to get to the new stuff. Yeah, I'm sure these And if you do manage to get by the Glitchy Peach heads, you'll then fall into this really messed up looking cave. Me, the, I am the him, hi, one that I. They're talking about him and the. I am him, I am the, thank you. For what? That shadow of her ex say thank you? So yes. Also listen to the music in this place. It's even freakier than some of the stuff you've heard before. This is like the soundtrack to your nightmares. I am the true king. Who is this king? He constantly gets mentioned throughout the course of this hack. And he doesn't sound like a very friendly king. And if you go through that cave, you eventually re-emerge as Peach in the same area. It's a little brighter. And then there are Rexes that you can actually kill. You smell so red. What did you do? Makes me wonder who is saying that. And the fact that someone smells red. This crop this year was horrendous, except for you. I thought that said crap for a second. Except for you. What crop? Everything is so vague and nondescript that you just can't really get any meaning from it. Useless. You really look at it, even then. Okay, at least I understand what this message gets at. I see you are trying at least a little bit, but they want all of them. I killed a Rex, so this is what they're implying, that I at least tried to kill their exes, but they want all of them. So something different will happen if you kill all the Rexes that you see up until you hit this message. But the they is still unclear. But it's being emphasized just by being put in the gray text like that. Like, I really want to know who this they is. Interesting. Like, this whole thing. You had no idea, did you? You built it. And after that, you... And I lose control? After that, you... tried. Again? So you built it, and then you tried again. I'm wondering who the you is and what they built. Everything is told in fragments, and nothing is clear. So you really just have to guess if there is a sort of story to this at all. I mean, all these pronouns used don't even at all refer to who it could be. Hey honey, come over here for a minute. At this rate, I'm gonna guess that Peach is saying this to Mario, but I could be wrong. And have to do with all this? What do you think? What is Mario's role in this whole thing anyway? Isn't that color a little harsh now? I'm thinking Peach is still talking to Mario. Wait, is she? No. He loves red. Who is he? Maybe it could be this king that loves red. And maybe I think I know what the red is. I can totally guess what the quote-unquote red is. Mario just walks up to a pool of blood and can do nothing from that point onwards. This is one of the endings of the game. Whose blood that is, I cannot be sure. Who caused it? It's not said. So it looks like someone just committed like a huge slaughter and then put all this blood in one place. So I reset the game to end up back at the start again. I'll actually go back to where you play as Peach, because there is a branching path there too. And it leads to another ending. I'm back in the Cave of Impending Doom with Shadow Mario. The True King, yada yada, we know. And then we're back here with Peach. And from here you can do something a little differently to go on the other branching path. But they want all of them, hints that you actually have to kill all the Rexes. So let's do that. And here, it sounds vaguely like the theme from Super Mario World. Like right about now. Except, oh, what? What the shit? Bring me your lungs. I wonder who the hell that could be saying that. Oh yes, now's the time. Go back and show them who you really are. You've killed other X's, so you literally have to go back. You literally do go backwards when you see that message. And if I'm not mistaken, the bridge breaks, you fall in the water, and we try again. Yes, we try again. And you'll be whisked to a scene where you have to build a house. I don't know what this has to do with anything else, but you're gonna build a house. Before you start, you have to pull up the weeds. So you touch the grass on the ground to get rid of it, and then you'll advance to the next step. Like, why the hell are we building a house? Is this a place where the slaughter is going to be done? What does this house have to do with the rest of this hack? Now gather the wood for the walls, which would be these branches that you can touch. Then you fall back down again. Oh yes, just a little more for the roof. We've seen this house already. And if you're curious, you can't use the door. By this point, the house should be done. There's just some distorted gurgling. Sounds like someone is drowning. Oh god, yes. Amazing work. They love it. And the game completely and utterly flips out. And there's a third ending to this game too. But I don't remember the details to this one by heart. This one's just way more cryptic. Like, I would have never even guessed. And I still don't understand how to get the clue, but I know the clue. You actually have to get to a certain screen to get the third ending. And it can be accessed one of two ways. The former does not require a cheat, but the second one does. Actually, I think both ways to access that third ending are from the second scene. The scenario in which the peach gets you. Like the frozen area. So I'm gonna get hit on purpose. Not sure how this pertains to the story. And then you end up in the frozen area where it's slippery. And if you actually go and scroll to the left from here, you'll actually see Peach frozen in the water with no pupils in her eyes. I'll just go a little further, because the shadow of Mario and the I'm actually does something to open up the path of the third ending. Once you trigger the I'm the Heart message, just press the start button on the right piece of the bridge, and it will break and you'll fall through into the frozen water. You should be on your path to the third ending. I'm actually going to drop a save state because there's a second way to access this via cheating. So you break through this bridge, fall in the frozen water, and get to another part of the game. Yup, this is it. This is definitely it. With what sounds like a regal theme. Really repetitive too. And it just sounds extremely depressing. If this is that so-called King's theme, then well... And then you'll get 2 random messages just by touching a few tiles that don't really tell you anything. The answer lies on the collection of worlds. It simply goes from front to back. Or maybe it does. I think this is a clue on how to get to that third ending, the collection of worlds. So on the overworld, there is a way to actually reveal a message that will tell you what buttons you want to press on this screen to get to the true ending for this path. It goes from front to back. Except the cat tried to save me before it kept taking the fish away. The fish that poisoned me. I want to see if I can find the message on the overworld. So if you disable a few layers on the overworld, you'll see some text. He did not know, he did not know, he did not know, he did not know. I thought there was something else on here. No, apparently that's it. If you turn that off, you don't see anything underneath it. So I'm not sure if there's a message there, or I just don't know how to make it appear. There, in fact, is a second way to get to this ending. I'll show you that right now. I'm just gonna load this state to save myself some time. Because I'm lazy now. Excuse me while I try to remember what the code to swim in any level is. And I remembered it. So what you'll want to do is turn on the code 00F2C3A9, the code that lets you swim in any level. You'll then want to go to the right, all the way to the right, where you're going to see the ledges with blood in the door. Except you don't go in the door, you just keep swimming. You swim up to one of the blood stains, and then you swim upwards through that, and now you're inside the upside down ledge, and you're outside the bounds of the game. And then from there on, you keep going left. Up until you get up here where there's the Peach in the water. You then go down into that body of water, and you'll just be whisked here. I don't even think that was an intentional way of getting there, but I'm gonna highlight it, because that's the one I found first. Now I'll be back with the last clue. I'm back with the most cryptic ending of them all. Here's the last ending in the game, so I think. Apparently there's rumors of a 4th that'll happen if you decide to just do nothing in the first forest for a few minutes. I want to see if that's true. But first, here's the one with the King's Dinner. Yeah, that's what it's referred to as. If you do a series of decodings, you'll eventually get the weird message. Yield all upper xanthic bodies left behind rotten entropy. This is a very oddly worded phrase, but it is actually secretly a series of buttons that you actually have to press. And I just want to make sure everything is mapped properly. Follow the my Y key is. Okay, that's an S. So I do not have to read the message, take the first letter of each word in the message, and then press all the buttons in that correct order to get to the King's Dinner. So I want to press Y first, because of yield. Then, whichever one A was, that would be like all. Upper, so up. Xanthic. Bodies. B for... Okay, what was B? Left, behind, rotten, entropy. And then you'll get another dark ambience track and a white screen. But if you use the right key, you'll then start to get more message. July 31st, 1992. I am truly impressed by their detective skills. Now we have someone talking. The evidence bestows me. This must be what it feels like to be king. This is the king talking. I did not need his help. Where you is he. I am the king, for he is not you. Feast upon the flowering organs. Oh God. This king actually feasts on organs, assumably of people. Now I'm not sure who the king is, for he is king. I mean, it's all emphasized, but it's not clear as to who this king is. For all we know, it could actually be Mario. I wouldn't want it to be Mario, but it could be. I'm gonna take a crack at this fourth ending, but I'm gonna kind of cheat it. I'm just gonna speed time up. If you don't move for a few minutes, apparently you go to a fourth ending. And this is from the first possible scenario in the game. Let's just assume you have no save file and you load it up for the first time. This is where you start. So I'm gonna do absolutely nothing besides just speed up time. I think I have to dismiss the message and wait some more. Which asks you, is that really it? Because you did nothing. You're being called useless. Thanks for nothing. Or is it just going to be a series of messages? He is calling for me again. I have to go. Right, the game just stopped working. In fact, the emulator's not even responding at all. If you stand there and do nothing, the emulator just craps out on you. Yes, it's not responding. But it's ZMZ, so yeah, you don't have to get your panties in a twist. So, that's apostrophe also known as Coronation Day. And I'm also going to end this video with a little flowchart of all the possible scenarios you can find in the game. Including this one that I did not know about till now. So I guess there is a quote-unquote fourth ending.